And we're back.
Hold on a second. Give me that strong clap.
Hell yeah.
Now we are recording.
Goddamn right. Look at how good that is. Beautiful, man.
That's how easy it is when you're professionals.
It is, man. Dude, can I say I love that windbreaker?
Oh, thank you, dude.
You
I get a
know?
lot of fucking compliments on it, to be honest with you.
It's a very, very solid windbreaker. I feel like, what's that song? Like, let's get physical. Like
Physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I imagine it. Like, I imagine a Saved by the Bell intro.
You
know? We were just talking about rich people. Like, you look like you could be at a tennis club in, like, 1980.
I look like fucking Zach from Saved by
Yeah.
the Bell.
You'd bang a couple milfs.
Getting
at
all
that
the
country
girls,
club.
getting all the milfs. Hell yeah. I love milfs, by the
Yeah.
way.
One of those fucking Dwayne Wayne glasses from fucking A Different World. It's like, you can flip them up.
For real.
So many cliches.
For real.
Riding in a Lamborghini Countach. Hello, people. How you doing? And welcome to Learning Things with Phil.
And I'm Kyle.
There we go. Oh, man.
And there's nothing more exciting to me than a MILF.
What is more exciting than a MILF? That's what we came here to talk about. MILFs. Let's unpack it.
That's what this entire episode's about.
You know? Do you think the whole MILF obsession is simply some sort of like Freudian way of men still being attracted to their mothers? But it's even more intense because it's not actual relation. So then you know, get to dig into it.
I don't know.
You know?
No comment.
No comment. Asking the real questions here and learning things, guys. Dude, next time, you know, because we had Galaxy on and stuff, and we want to have a bunch of different people, like, you know, sex workers and all that stuff. Next time we have one on, we just be like, so do you think the MILF thing is just about a bunch of dudes wanting to fuck their moms that aren't their moms?
Mm-hmm.
And see how it goes. I think it'll be good.
I just think there's fucking nothing more sexy than either a mom. Yeah, a mom. Yeah. A mom that's just like needs a fucking good younger man to just lighten up their fucking week. You know what I mean?
I feel like you tried so hard not to say dick. You're like, a woman who needs a good fucking
younger man. Younger man.
That's hilarious. But you're right, though. It is this fear. It's like a kind of,
I love it so much.
It is nice. It's like there is something about seeing a woman be maternal that's not related to you. It's like, maybe it is an evolutionary thing of, you know, even if she is older and you're younger, it's still that evolutionary thing of just like,
yeah,
you know, someone providing for another, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
It
is
is
a
the
little
line
bit of
going.
that. It is a little bit of that for sure.
Because it's also, too, like, women have it with men as well. Like, you know, women like older guys, especially like a dad who's like a hot dad. Who doesn't like a hot older person?
Of course.
You know,
of course. Women love older men.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I fucking love older women because they're just sexy. They know what they
Yeah.
want.
Yes.
They don't need to fucking be putting up with the bullshit. They
They're
don't have
decisive.
anything. Yeah, they're not going to be asking you for things. They're not going to be, you know, hoping that you do anything for them really besides like hang out with them, give them a good time, and like that's it. Like they're like a friend that's hot that you can fuck and like have just a fucking great time with. I love it. I love it.
That is true. I feel
I love
like
it.
in a weird way, it's like older women act the way that you kind of wish like younger women would act, where you're like, I wish you were more like I'm fine with paying for everything, but I'm not fine with the fact that you don't have money to pay for certain things.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it goes the same way with women too. That's why a lot of like women will date older guys and stuff. And shit like that.
100%.
You want somebody who's more set in their lives.
100%.
You know, and kind of just
100%.
knows more what they want. And yeah, man, yeah, it's fucking. So if there's any hot older ladies out there, you know, any cougars, any milfs, you know, talk to us, write us in.
For real.
At Learning with Kyle and Phil. We already got the milfs calling in right now. How amazing is that?
Yeah, the MILF, Brian. Brian A2Z, our director.
Brian the milf. I don't know.
Matter
if you
of
heard him.
fact.
He's great. That's his name on the streets.
I'm gonna see if he can do 2:30.
Yeah,
I texted him. I asked him 2:30, and now he's calling me at 2 o'clock. So whatever.
That's all right, guys. Sorry to spoil it for you. You know, we're a hot commodity. We're not cutting this out.
No, no.
We got
commodity, just like your mom's.
Yeah, man. And we're pleased to announce we actually have a new project that we are working on. That isn't fully finished. We're just getting into the inner workings of it, but we're going to be doing an extension of Learning Things, more of a kind of docu series, you know, and actually learning things for once, and kind of teaching you guys how to do it. And yeah, you should check it out. You know.
Yeah. Soon to come.
Soon to come. Very ominous, but I didn't want to get too specific because who knows, you know, where things could go.
I don't want motherfuckers stealing our ideas.
I know. That's a whole nother thing.
I'm just
too,
kidding.
so.
It's not like it's an original idea.
Oh no, I'm paranoid. I'm paranoid, dude. You ever heard of TV? That was
Can't
my
sleep.
thing.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Someone stole it. Dude. I was like, somebody needs to put pictures and make a move on a small screen. And you know, there was just a white guy, you know, back in the day who just, you know, was twiddling his little mustache.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's rich.
Mm-hmm.
And we call that man Rupert Murdoch. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's a damn shame. But it's good to be with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to
Good to be
with
back here.
I know, right?
Good to be back. Always good to be back.
You know, should we tell them it's actually only been like 2 days? Or you guys don't know the calendar of things. Guys, we want to talk about some real shit, though. There's some pretty interesting stuff that happened recently on Twitter. That's where we go to get all our trending topics. I don't know. The Zodiac killer has finally been caught. Or not caught. He's dead, but he's finally been identified.
Yeah.
Which is funny. Well, not funny, but very interesting. But also makes me realize, like, so then where's Biggie's killer at? You know? Like if you guys are still doing all this hunting for fucking Zodiac, dude, that was the 1960s. A bunch of white people ain't nobody care about. You know? This is goddamn Biggie Smalls. And we still don't know.
Yeah, or Pox.
Or Pac, yo, Pac.
Motherfucker was shot on the strip.
Yeah, man. Well, Suge Knight did say that, you know, it was basically a beef. He thinks it was people coming after him because he had some shit go down. Yeah, it was like a couple years ago. They released like some article interview, but nothing like for sure, nothing concrete. They don't have any names or nothing. But he was like, yeah, I was beefing with somebody. They were Crips and shit like that. Then that altercation happened or whatever.
Right.
And he was like, I think they were looking for me or trying to shoot me, and they ended up shooting him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's probably just covering his own ass.
Probably, yeah, probably.
He's making up some shit like, nah, they were coming for me, but I think they just killed him on accident.
Right, there's like pictures of him sliding a silver briefcase, you know, across the table.
Should got the fucking gun buried somewhere in some like canyon or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, man. I just want to know like all these serial killers, man. I mean, it's so interesting now because you see these documentaries and stuff all over Netflix, on Hulu, and everything. And I just want to ask, like, is being a serial killer the last reliable job in America? You know? Because it seems like these guys are just going for years, and it's just like, guys, I'm not one for violence, but if we're talking about economic stability here, you know, it seems like a good thing. You know?
That's incredible.
We got BTK, we got Zodiac. This guy, he died before we found out who he was, before we took him to jail.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. They did a great job with that movie as well. Fucking wonderful. I thought they did a really good job with that movie.
That is a very good movie.
Yeah.
Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., man.
Yeah.
Loved that shit.
Yeah.
Very good. And I mean, I remember, like, he's somebody who, you want to talk about Biggie Smalls. The Zodiac Killer is the Biggie Smalls of murderers, you know? Because he would play games with them and, you know, and he was just somebody who's like, it was from way back in the day where there were like no cameras, no nothing. So you just do shit. And
yeah, hell yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I was with my grandma, and for some reason we were watching like a 60 Minutes, and it was about the Zodiac Killer because it was like, you know, like a 30-year anniversary or like something like that. And we watched the whole fucking thing. I was scared shitless. I had to sleep in the bed with her. You know?
Man.
Fucking crazy. That dude is ice cold. So
that shit is wild how he was able to never get caught.
Right?
Stay away. That's pretty fucking amazing.
That's pretty fucking amazing, man. These dudes are highly intelligent. So intelligent
Seriously.
that they almost don't want the spotlight, but they do, you know, in this
1000%.
weird way.
1000%.
It's fucking crazy.
It's like the Banksy of
of serial
killers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He was very quiet. Every few years he'd put something out.
Yeah. I think people know who Banksy is now, but I don't think it's like been released to the public.
There you go.
There's people do have like ideas of who he is though, and they've shown pictures of people who they think he is. And
really?
Yeah, it's probably right. But
well, maybe it was the same team of investigators that
yeah.
tracked this down. And they're like, we got a lead on Banksy.
We got a lead on
Banksy.
Yeah, rest in peace though, because there was just speaking about killings, 4 people were killed in a Texas high school today.
Shit.
Another fucking student. There's a manhunt going on right now.
Oh my God.
R.I.P. to all the kids, the students that were killed today. So
fuck
crazy.
all that shit, man. Whatever happened to just fighting? You know, whatever happened to just throwing hands? Like it's ridiculous, man. Like all this school shooting shit. I feel like we came up right in the cusp of that. Like Columbine happened when I was maybe in like 5th grade, 4th grade, or something like that.
Yep.
And then it just became this thing. You know, I mean, it is. I think that guns are so easy to buy and stuff like that.
1000%, especially in Texas.
Especially in Texas. But also, too, it's kind of, I think, the notoriety that these people get and all that type of stuff. And I think a lot of young men aren't taught how to deal with their feelings.
1000%.
You know?
1000%.
And we're in such like a sensationalized era right now with the internet and everything. So everybody wants a name. Everybody thinks that anything that happens to them is the most important thing that happens to them ever. So now you're kind of seeing the effects of something like that in a place like America that was already very self-centered,
completely,
and reckless and individualistic. You know, so it's really nuts. So yeah, R.I.P. to those kids. I didn't even know that. You know.
Yeah, very self-centered, but also at the same time, because of, like you're saying, like it's just these cultural, primarily white, right?
Yeah.
Cultural communication faults.
Yes.
That lead to, the feeling of not being seen.
Yep.
Which leads to bullying, which leads to,
yeah, man.
The list goes on and on and on.
What?
And then you have these fucking crazy, and then, it drives people crazy.
Yeah, I think
young kids.
Dude, it really does, man. I
Fucks
don't
up
know.
their head.
I don't know how I would handle like Instagram and stuff, as like a young kid. Like I got that stuff like Facebook like in high school, and you did have MySpace and shit, but it was nothing to the level of this.
MySpace was way different.
It's not the whole thing. Like MySpace was something we were all into, but it was totally something you could just back away from. It didn't control your mind
completely
in the same way, man. And also too, I think it's partially because like these parents are like coddling a lot of their children. So if they're coddling their children, but these children also don't have any emotional education and how to act and how to process their feelings, then all they do is hold in their shit. And since they've been coddled the whole time, they're like, but everything's about me and I'm not being realized and fuck this, you know what I mean? And no one ever wants to see their child fucking cry, and this is where we've gotten to because of it, and it's fucking insane. Life is pain, not to be overly dramatic, but I won't say life is pain, but life is a constant fluctuation of pain, pleasure, and indifference.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have to get people used to that. I think so many people just aren't. We all have friends. I mean, as artists, right? We all have friends who just like all they do is like bitch and moan about stuff, and they're emotional too. But it's just like, they understand emotions, but at the same time, it's like, how do you not get the underlining of like our existence, where it's like, dude, sometimes shit is just shitty. You don't have to wallow all the time.
Right.
You're
Right.
All things do pass.
People will get stuck there.
People just get stuck there. And I've gotten stuck there too. It's not,
Yeah, I've been there too.
That's
1000%.
not something to just like shit on. Like, it's not like these people are weak, but it's just a thing of just like, I think more and more people really need to realize that, as long as you keep going, life keeps going. And that doesn't mean you dismiss bad things.
Right.
Yeah. Don't dismiss
if anything,
them.
you need to embrace bad things.
Yeah, there you go.
'Cause then you're like, oh, well, what the fuck? But okay, now I can move on from that because there's nothing else I can do about it.
Thank you.
So now I know moving forward how to avoid this, or like how I
Yes.
should act, or how I can handle this mentally, physically, whatever the
Totally.
fuck it might be. You move on instead of just sitting there like, complaining about it for fucking months on end, years on end, keeping yourself in a hole.
I used to be just like that. Like I would just say like over and over like the bad thing that happened, or you know what I mean, or
Oh.
even if I wouldn't say it,
Yeah.
it would just be in my head constantly. And right? Yeah, I think you. I think maybe you flicked off the switch.
Oh, I did, yeah.
There you
go.
go. That was your subconscious being like, no, don't be open about your emotions. Don't say that shit. Shut that shit up. But when would you say?
This microphone was made in America.
Yeah, right. He cut you off because you were too soft.
Cut me up, yeah. It's like,
Cut 'em
whoa,
out.
whoa.
Take 'em out.
I'm hearing a lot of emotion coming through this mic right now. We got to cut them off over there.
But when do you think, like what age do you think you were when you finally realized, kind of like all things kind of do pass? Or not when you fully, but, it takes time. It's not something that happens day and night. But
Oh, man.
that's hard to pin down, right? I know. Can you give me an age group?
Ugh.
An age
Dude,
group.
honestly, probably within the last, couple of years.
Right? That's how I feel.
Probably within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I think the last 2 years of my life has been some of the most difficult, and I'm still kind of stuck in it, but also the way that I've gotten through things is doing exactly what we were talking about before, like where you just push through them, you ignore them, you put them to the side or whatever the fuck it might be, and it works. It does work. It does work to a certain degree, but you lose you cut yourself off from a lot of things, right?
Yes.
But I think over the last 2 years, the reason why I say this is honestly because of heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never had heartbreak before, right?
Yeah.
And I think that has helped me understand things and how to deal with other emotions in regards to normal things in life
Yeah.
way more than anything else that I've ever experienced. Like, any kind of trauma that I've experienced or shitty situation. Like, I think, my heart breaking was probably the biggest thing because that was the first time I've really been heartbroken in my life, right? But it puts into perspective so many other things because when you experience heartbreak, I don't know, it's just different. It's like you're giving yourself completely to somebody or trying to.
I get what you mean.
And go
so
ahead. No.
Okay. I just think I know I know what you're saying. And I've struggled with a lot of that type of stuff too, but I think it does teach you about the normal things because it's like by experiencing something so personal, you take the rest of life way less personally.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And you just start realizing not everything's made for you. No matter how much you want it. No matter how much you want it, no matter how much you need it, not everything is made for you. Mm-hmm. And that's just what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking crazy.
And I can't say
shout out to love.
Yeah, shout out to love. I can't say that I've had any crazy I haven't lost a parent yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any crazy deaths in my family. I do have a couple deaths in my family, but
like grandma.
Nothing on a crazy scale. Nobody was murdered. Nobody was killed in a super traumatic way. My uncle died of cancer. That sucked. But so without having those kind of things happening and you're close, that's the only other super personal thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's what it is. Just something that's so rooted in you that gets hurt.
Yeah,
right?
It
you
humbles
see
you.
things in the world differently after that, right?
Yeah, and you also realize that most things aren't that bad.
Totally.
Because you also realize you're trust me, shit can get bad. I remember when it got bad.
Mm-hmm.
This person's gone,
Mm-hmm.
and that was bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some guy who is rude to me on the subway is annoying, but it's not so bad. And if I live through something as horrible as like getting broken up with somebody that I love or something, or it's just simply not working out and both of us mutually can't, you know, be together. If I can get through that, I can get through, you know, not knowing where I'm at with a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
I-
You know, like
I'm
shit,
glad-
like dumb shit like that.
I'm really glad you said that because that was gonna be the next thing that I was gonna say. I'm like, bro, like it's made me even like more cutthroat with the people that are around me.
Yeah.
Even friends,
Oh, absolutely.
even friends that I've had for a long time,
Mhm.
even friends that are like my close friends.
Yes.
It's like, bro,
You're like,
we are just not working, or
Yes.
shit ain't working.
Yep.
Shit's just not working. I don't give a fuck how close I am to you.
Yeah.
I don't care about our history, like our
Yeah.
relationship and our history. Like,
Yeah.
what matters is right now.
Yeah.
And if it's not working, it's not working.
You got to do the best for you, man.
You know?
And I've noticed that over and over again. You know, it's funny though that like I feel like the universe will constantly play, you know, like tricks with you, where it's like the lesson you're trying to learn, they'll constantly like try to like muddy it up a little, you know, because you know, like because my habit is I've had a lot of friends, you know, that are like very erratic people, very like, you know, just like paranoid artists and, you know, always kind of playing the victim and stuff like that. And I've learned that that's not the best thing, but you'll get rid of that type of person. And then, you know, and that's the thing is like they're super self-centered, they're weird and all that shit, but you kind of tolerate it because they've been there for you in so many times.
Yes,
you know?
yes, 100%.
But then like, you know, you get rid of them because you're like, I just can't take this anymore and I need it for me, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's when something
Yeah.
super rough happens to you,
Yeah.
and you need the real day ones.
I know.
And you're like, fuck. Why?
I
Why
know.
do I need the day ones right now?
I know.
And that's the
I
toughest
know.
thing. I feel like life, you know, we each have like in our personal lives, like maybe one or two lessons that life and existence like wants to teach us, and it just keeps teaching it to you over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Even sometimes if you learn the lesson, it'll just show you like, here, remember, this is why you do that thing now. This is why you don't hang out with that type of person. And I know you know that, but I just had to show you again. Because I felt like you were tempted to hang out with that type of person again. Yeah, I shouldn't. It's so strange, man, the way this shit works. Right?
Totally, dude. Totally.
Yeah, man. It's so fucking strange.
It's fucking crazy, man.
But it's beautiful, especially if you're going after like your dreams. I think you need to pay attention to stuff like that and everything. Like Chappelle's fucking new special just came out, and that was, you know, very like inspiring to a lot of people. And I've heard like, you know, and that's the type of things you want to like stay geared into, not like bad relationships or, you know, not knowing where you're at with certain peers, like in your scene or environment or whatever. Like, fuck all that shit, man. Just pay attention to the good shit that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make your stuff as good as possible, and you know, stay on track with the right people.
Yeah, I think, man, I think that's what all like successful people do, or like people that a lot of us aspire to be, because a lot of people go through adversity and they have to handle all these same things that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take for example Chappelle. You know, I mean,
people are throwing shit at him right now, dude. Like he's I mean, like obviously it's the same group of people always talking cancellation. You know, that type of shit. But I haven't seen the special yet, but I've heard it's fucking insane, and it's like possibly one of his best. But yeah, people are saying like cancel it for this. Like, oh, when did Dave Chappelle become a shock comic? I'm like, from the beginning, since he was fucking
since
born.
ever.
Yeah, dude. Newsflash, people. Every comic is a shock comic. That's what a joke is.
Yeah,
It's surprise. You know?
exactly.
Like, it's a surprise with humor. That's what it is.
Yeah,
You know.
he's one of the
fucking
best though when it comes to like race and culture and shit though.
Oh yeah, he
I
is.
mean, like unbeatable.
Of course,
Like,
dude. If there's anybody that could tackle a subject, it's fucking him.
it's
You know, let the
unbelievable.
guy have a crack at it. You know.
Uh,
I feel like nowadays too, especially with like comedy and just like, yeah, I would say essentially comedy. There's so many people like, you know, there's so many few people who can still truly say what they want and have like a level of amnesty,
Right.
To it.
Right.
And he's kind of one of those people, and he gets a little bit of flack, but it's not nearly as bad as like if somebody lower than him was to be making the same jokes, like,
right.
If there was,
I'm kind of sick of that too, because I'm like, man, fuck
Such a
that
lie.
shit, bro.
it's such a bullshit.
Everybody should be able to do it, and like, but I mean, everybody can do it, but like, I also think, people will catch a lot of flack, but also people will find their tribes, the people that follow them, no matter what.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like, I get
Yeah.
excited when I see a new comic that like just doesn't have a fucking like no filter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I respect you more. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
fire. Whether
Yeah.
you're white, black, Asian, whatever the fuck you are.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm like, especially if you're white, actually.
Yeah,
Because honestly, that's
motherfuckers
ballsy as
gonna come
fuck.
for you, yeah.
But also, like, if you understand shit,
yeah.
then I fuck with you. And if you're making funny jokes, it's still funny, right?
Yeah, that's my whole thing. As long as it's funny, it's fucking funny. For the most part. I mean, listen, there's some things you shouldn't joke about, based on like context or some shit like that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if it's a funny bit, it's if it's funny, it's funny. I mean, there might be things that are inappropriate. Like that's the thing, is I've heard people tell jokes that are funny that I'm still like, he shouldn't tell that joke, and not like as oh, you're not gonna get the right jobs, like not as like a schmoozy industry thing, but just like that's a really mean thing to say. Like the mechanics work, and yes, it does get like a slight laugh out of me or something like that, but that's a mean thing to say. And I also see how less educated people who don't know that you're doing satire would think that what you're telling is your point of view and fully the truth. So there is a thing, there is a level of that type of thing, but I'm also fine of like, but it also matters, like, also that type of joke, is funny, but it's not super funny. So there's also, different levels of that as well.
Yeah.
As long as your joke, you got to realize, like, is your joke more funny than it is inappropriate? As long as your joke is more funny than it is inappropriate, then I can ride with you.
Right.
If it's neck and neck, then I'm like, yeah, maybe. Catch me on a good day.
Hell yeah.
But there's some fucked up people out there. Let me tell you, man. I'm not like I like Bernie Sanders and shit. I'm poor. And I'm all for freedom of speech. I watched a little bit of Joe Rogan. I'm all over the map, but yeah, like I feel like there are some people who take it just way too seriously.
Yeah.
Way
Oh,
too
hell yeah. Of course.
And I'm a liberal, but it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ, people. It's like, and it's never the funny ones. That's the thing. It's like, I want someone to do a study. I really want like a scientist to do a study and survey like every fucking comedian and everything, and just like I really want to know, because I just know for a fact that it's like, it's never the really, really funny comics that are like the ones taking other comedians to task. And for like being inappropriate and stuff like that, like, oh, his joke is shitty, or like he acts this way, and it's like, I want to know, like, is it because the other comedians who are actually funny are too busy that they're but they do feel the same way as this person, or is it just they don't care because the person's funny, That's a very big conundrum. That's a very comedy centric joke. I mean, theory for me to figure out, but I've always wondered that.
Yeah, any comedians in the listening in the crowd right now, if you have your opinion on that, please leave a comment.
Yeah, any
in the comment section below. Yeah, anybody. Yeah, any surveyor, anybody who makes money doing surveys.
Any comedy data analysts, if you're watching this is because you're clearly our demographic. Please write it down in the comments, man. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard good things about the special. I want to go see it. Like I told to you, it's like I want to watch it, but like I just have so much respect for the dude that it's just like, I want to watch it when it's like I have energy. Like I don't want to come like tired as fuck from a day at work and then just like half asleep and watch it. I want to actually be like engaged,
locked in.
Yeah, and like really
Hell
locked
yeah.
in.
Hell yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, his last one was fucking crazy too, man.
I think I watched it. I'm not sure which one it was.
It was he was wearing a jumpsuit. It's called Sticks and Stones.
Oh yeah, Sticks and Stones.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
watched Sticks and Stones. Yeah.
It was funny. I liked the
Oh,
one
I
before.
fucking loved it.
It was great. It was great.
The one before, I don't remember the name of it either.
That one is like, I'm a big Chappelle fan, so it's like what is it? The equanimity, or no, Revelation and the Bird's Equanimity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I saw.
And that was in two separate places. That was what's cool about it too. That one, the first one, he's in some big theater and shit like that, and that's about an hour. He released 2 specials, 2 hours, at the same time. Fucking insane. So that one's in like big theater, mad nice, and that's way more structured. The first one's way more structured.
Yeah.
And then the second one is just like at the Comedy Store in L.A.
Okay.
And he's just like, talking, and he's talking about all the Me Too shit with like Louis and all that shit.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah. He came under flack for this one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, a bit, cause
Sticks and Stones was pretty
that
big
one they
though
were
too,
talking
because
shit
he was
too,
talking mad. Like, yeah.
He was like, "Fuck all you. This is all ridiculous."
Yeah.
Like, oh,
yeah. That's
man.
when he was like. That's when he came on another level though. I was like, whoa, dude, he is really fucking going in.
He's
He
going
became
in.
like a political activist, like for real.
Yeah, dude, saying
I'm
the
like,
whole
whoa.
trans shit and
Hell
fucking
yeah.
crazy.
He was
man.
not holding back shit. I'm
Oh.
like, god damn.
Dude, he didn't give a fuck. Yeah,
Fuck
man.
it, though.
But yeah, man. I mean, hey, dude, he's doing his thing, living his fucking dream out. That's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to talk about one thing, because I feel like we're probably getting toward the end.
We only have a couple minutes left.
We only have a couple minutes left. We're
Mhm.
making this a shorter episode.
Mhm.
But I felt like after talking about the Zodiac killer and Chappelle, I feel like this is the most important thing that I saw on Twitter today, saying that single people make less than people who have partners, and by and large are less educated
Mm-hmm.
as people who have partners.
Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts on that? What do you think?
I mean, I can see it. If you have a good partner, if you have the right partner, I can see that person lifting you up. Also, that's kind of like an automatic connect at all times. If they're pushing you, if they're really making you work, there's somebody always there to support you. I think that helps people a lot.
Yeah.
I think being on your own can be really difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
That's probably a big reason. Also, what was I going to say? What was it?
You were saying
they
that
make less money.
they make less money and
What was
they're
my
less
other point?
educated.
Less educated. Yeah, that's right. I think that makes sense too, because I think that kind of just stems back to what we were talking about earlier in terms of, my breakup and my heartbreak and everything like that. It's like, if you're in a relationship and you're in a lasting relationship, and of all things, a healthy one, you gotta know what the fuck you gotta have a good head on. You know what I mean?
I feel like it also relates to the MILF subject as well
How so?
that we were talking to. When we were saying we want people who are more set in their lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, somebody who has a fucking good job and a good education wants somebody else who has a good job and a good education.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right.
And then they keep, like you're saying, they motivate each other and
Mhm.
they keep themselves going or doing more. You know what I mean? Like maybe some guy has a job, but in order to get a bigger paycheck, he has to take a night school class to get certified for something.
Mm-hmm.
If he's single, I mean, he's probably gonna go for it, but he'll go for it like 6 months later because there's no rush.
Mm-hmm.
But if he has a wife, she's probably like supporting him and being like, dude, you can totally do that. Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna want to bring in more money. And they're probably gonna try to
also
have kids.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, and also how many couples? Like, I wonder what the percentage of couples are that have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or that are married that have kids.
Yeah. That's
probably a high percentage.
a very
A very high percentage, especially in the United States.
definitely.
And that requires you to fucking work your ass off.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
And I think there's just more things too. It's just like when you have somebody expecting things of you,
Right.
You always rise to the occasion.
Mhm.
No matter how low of a bar that may be for
Mhm.
you. Rising to the occasion is relative for
Yeah.
every person.
Yeah,
But
definitely
no,
relative.
if you have like somebody in your life, you're always going to be a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, usually, maybe not emotionally, but financially, it turns out a study says that's absolutely true. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Study also said that there were microchips in the vaccine. So
Yeah, no, there's nanobots. That's like an actual fact. Yeah.
Nanobots.
Nanotechnology. It's true.
Nanobots.
We're about to be fucking cyborgs, yo.
I already am one. Doesn't even fucking matter, man.
I got a Wi-Fi hotspot in my chest.
I got fucking laser beams on top of my head.
There you go. Yeah, I got laser nipples, man.
Austin Powers. Yeah, laser nipples.
Coming at you.
You're a fembot. No, you got like the guns that come
the
out of your
gums
nips.
that come out.
You're a fembot.
A mask fembot.
Yeah.
He's a masculine.
Trans.
Yeah, a trans fembot.
You're a trans fembot.
Don't ever tell me I'm not a fembot. You bitch. But yeah, I guess.
Don't gender bot me.
Do you think these riffs are why we're single?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
making
possibly.
less money and less educated?
Possibly. All right, man.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
And on that note, I guess we'll see you guys later. Have a great time. I was gonna say night or day, but I mean, who knows when you're watching this? Just know that we love you, and we're here to always give you a great show. And stay tuned for our live episode. We're gonna be doing live episodes about once a month or as often as we can in the future. So if anybody is in the New York City area, please stay tuned. Please follow us on Instagram at Learning Things
Podcast.
Learning Things Podcast. There we go. To follow up for updates on that, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.